Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about something everyone seems to be talking about, which is Dave Chappelle's latest special. It has raised a lot of hell already, which I think was the point. Don't you? Don't you think Dave knew what he was going into when he was doing this? Because it's not the first time he's pushing the boundaries. This is not the first time he's getting a pushback. Quite the opposite. I think Dave is learning to ride those waves and to benefit from them. Even though I'm a big fan of Dave Chappelle, going into this, when I was about to watch the whole thing last night, I was going into it with the suspicion that this might have been done on purpose, just to get more views, to get more attention, which I still think is a small part of it. But I was pleased at the end of it to feel that it was about something else. Because, to be honest, I didn't want Dave's last piece of art for a while to be about another tactical step. And for him to keep going after the same community and keep going for the same jokes that create this fuzz felt like a tactical step. And to be honest, I'm getting a little bit tired of all the LGBTQ discussions, and it feels like every podcast, every stand-up is nowadays about freedom of speech and LGBTQ community. I would like to hear something new. It's getting a little bit worn out. No? Dave really took this time to explain where he stands, what he feels, and why he makes the jokes he makes, and what these jokes really mean. And then he pushed the boundaries a little bit further, as if he wanted to check if people really understood what he's saying. And obviously not everyone. But, even though I never watch other people's reactions because I don't want my own to be influenced, I watched a couple, especially made by trans women, and their reaction seemed to be quite healthy and normal. So one girl even said that she was touched by Dave's performance, which was exactly what she was supposed to be if she understood it all right. The Daphne story was touching. At the end of it, my conclusion was that Dave Chappelle did this to bring some kind of peace. I think they really wanted to create some kind of change and be the one who changes the direction of where all this is going. And that is a good thing. I understand that Dave was trying to do something good for his fellow comedians, that he was trying to do something good for the stage, and which affects us all in some ways, right? Power and influence should be used to bring on some kind of good change or influence in a good way, definitely. But, here comes a but. And I suspect that most of you guys watching are fans of Dave Chappelle, and so am I, so keep this in mind. But I still expect a lot of dislikes for what I'm about to say. But Dave Chappelle is transitioning, or has already transitioned, from a comedian to a storyteller, public speaker. And the thing is, that is not why I fell in love with him. That is not what I'm looking for when I look for Dave Chappelle. I'm not looking for a life lesson. I'm looking for a good laugh. That's how I found him. And I understand that a lot of people, once they get the power, once they get the throne of whatever they're doing, they change direction and start doing something else with it. But it's a shame, because it's the comedy that made him the king. And to be honest, his storytelling, his way of using the stage for a narrative comes to the cost of his comedy. As you all know, Dave Chappelle was one of the best comedians out there. And, well, this special was not that funny, to be honest. The only joke that actually made me laugh was the one about Eminem. Watch it.
Oh, I'd be mad as shit if I was a woman. I'd be mad if I was me. If I was in a BET Awards sitting there and they're like, and the winner for Nigger of the Year, Eminem, my man.
Yes, I can, don't ask me this again.
Well, guys, there you go. That was my conclusion after watching the whole thing. That no, it was not made just for the views, just for the fuzz of it, even if it was a part of it. Mostly, I think, my understanding, that Dave did this to pave the way for his fellow comedians to try to make some kind of peace between the LGBTQ community and the rest of the world, even if it's done with a little bit of war. And hopefully it will bring on some positive change. I hope so. Otherwise, such a waste to dedicate this last special for a while to the alphabet community. But, you know, it's a good thing when people try to do good. But downside being that it comes to the cost of his true art, which is comedy. And hey guys, who am I in my opinion? It's not like I know what Dave should do better than Dave. Dave knows what's best for Dave, I would think. But this is my opinion as a fan, as someone who really appreciates his comedy and the art he actually got famous for. I would love to know what you think. Do you like this transition from comedian to storyteller? Or maybe you think that Dave is just as funny as ever? Or do you agree with me and think that it's too bad? Well, that was it for today. You could like and subscribe if you want to, you know. And I have Instagram account with like 15 followers. We be growing. See you soon.